going to get going right away because we have so many people that are interested in speaking to this topic. So if members would take their seats and we'll get going.
Call the meeting.
Emma, I will. So I just want to say good morning and thank you all for being here this early morning of February 18th, 2026. We have a quorum? We don't need a quorum, but we will begin this committee hearing of Education Finance now. So welcome to our first hearing of the Minnesota 94th legislative session. I'm State Senator Mary Kunesh. I am the chair of Education Finance, and I'm very happy to see you all here today. I do want to just do a little shout out. Today is Bus Driver Appreciation Day. Can't thank those bus drivers enough for all the work that they do getting our kids to and fro from school, and we'll be hearing a little bit more about from them about the impact of these past 2 months. So hang on for that. We do have a little bit of housekeeping. As you see, we have a much more robust security system here in the Senate building. Following the murders of Melissa Hortman and her husband and dog, as well as the assassination attempt of Senator Hoffman. And so you'll notice that we have stronger protocols. We do have stronger security in this room, but there are some expectations we have of all of you as well. So signs and place cards are not permitted in the hearing room. Verbal outbursts and applause, even though we did give it to the bus drivers. We broke that one already. But verbal outbursts, shouting, or disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. Applause or other audible demonstrations are not allowed. For safety reasons, standing or sitting in the walkways or the aisles, like between here and along the wall, or standing or obstructing is prohibited. If you require any accommodation, please speak with our sergeant staff and you'll see them around the room. Troopers and security personnel are present to ensure everyone's safety. And if you received an entrance ticket, we don't have entrance tickets, so we don't need to worry about that. Failure to comply with these guidelines may result in the removal from the hearing room. Our goal is to conduct these proceedings efficiently while ensuring everyone the opportunity to observe and participate appropriately. So with that, I think what we'll do is maybe just go around the room and introduce ourselves. If you would just state your name and then the district that you, or the school districts that you represent, that would be great. And maybe we will start with our newest member.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Senator Michael Holmstrom. I represent Monticello School District, Buffalo, Delano, the Howard Lake, and St. Cloud. Let's see, Annandale, and parts of Rockford. And then, of course, we have plenty of great private schools in our district as well, like St. Francis and St. Mount of Olives.
Senator Kroon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Michael Kroon, District 32, which is in the Blaine, Ham Lake, Lexington, and Columbus area. My school districts are Anoka Hennepin, Spring Lake Park, Centennial, Forest Lake, and I have one charter school, Da Vinci Academy.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning. My name is Claire Umuver-Baden. I represent District 66. That includes the Roseville Public Schools District and St. Paul Public Schools.
Good morning. I'm Senator Erin McQuaid. I represent Senate District 56, which is Apple Valley, Rosemount, and Eagan, which is a school district I represent and graduated from. I also have a handful of students in 191.
Senator Jason Rarick, District 11, and please forgive me if I miss some of these. I'm writing them down. I have Rush City, Mora, Pine City, Hinckley Finlayson, East Central, Willow River, Renshaw, Carlton, Cromwell, Cloquet, Esco, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing one or two, but and a couple of small privates as well.
Excellent, thank you. State Senator Mary Kunish, I represent District 39. School districts, Anoka Hennepin, Fridley, Spring Lake Park, Columbia Heights, New Brighton, St. Anthony, New Brighton, and we too have a couple handfuls of charter schools and private schools in our district.
I'm Heather Gustafson, State Senator in SD 36. We have White Bear Lake, Centennial, Matamidi, Mounds View, and Forest Lake in our school districts, and I represent 9 cities, but the biggest ones are Vadnais Heights, White Bear Lake, and Lino Lakes.
Good morning, Madam Chair, and thank you for the opportunity to serve once again on this great committee, and thank you for coming out to the district here a couple weeks back. Sure. So Eric Lucero, Elk River, Otsego, St. Michael, Albertville area. I have 8 school districts, so portions of the Delano, Rockford, Buffalo, and Monticello school districts, as well as the entirety of STMA, and then portions of the Elk River, St. Francis, and Anoka Hennepin school districts. And then we also have several phenomenal charter schools in our area as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Steve Swodzinski, Senate District 49, Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, and Hopkins school districts. It's great to be back, and it's great to see so many familiar faces that I haven't seen in months, or in too long, so thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members. Senator Andrew Lang, represent 4 counties in western Minnesota. To spare you the time, I represent all or portions of 22 school districts.
Oh, wow.
Not including the Christian schools and the countless homeschoolers and on and on. That also includes 22 superintendents. 4 counties has 4 county commissioners and 33 communities. So, yeah, that's a big district in western Minnesota.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm glad to go after Senator Lang, as he has 22, including my wife's alma mater, BDRSH, BDRSH, as they collectively call it. Doran Clark, I represent portions of Minneapolis, so I have 1 school district, public school district, Minneapolis Public Schools, along with some charters and parochial schools as well. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And so that is our team. Senator Westland will be here in just a little bit. And
here I am.
Here she is. While she's getting settled in, I just want to point out that we're kind of missing one of our staff members. Jenna is our fiscal agent, but she's not present with us today, and we're happy to congratulate her on the birth of her 2nd child earlier this year. And so Bjorn Arneson will be covering her role until her return next session, so we won't see her this year, but she'll be watching, I'm sure. We also have Anne-Marie Lewis. I'm sure she's got better things to do, but, you know, this is exciting stuff. And we're also excited to have our 2 committee pages this year, Sharu and Josie. They're in the back there. So if you need anything, just let us know. Of course, we have Emma here and Tessa. If there are any questions, if you need anything as the audience members while you're out there, please just kind of raise your hand or try to get one of these staff members' attention, and then they'll come to help you. And with that, Senator Westland, are you ready to introduce yourself and the school districts you represent?
Hi.
Your name, your district, and the school districts you represent.
Thank you so much. My apologies for being late on the first day, but I just could not quite get out of the house on time. My name is Senator Bonnie Westland. I represent Senate District 42, which includes Plymouth, a slice of Maple Grove, and the beautiful city of Medicine Lake. I do have 3 school districts, including Wayzata, Robbinsdale, and Osseo. And I'm happy to be here again.
Thank you. And we miss Senator Farnsworth, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Good morning, Senator Rob Farnsworth, Senate District 7. I represent the best area of the state, the Iron Range. The reason it's the best is that it has 5 taconite mines, and that's the defining feature of the best Senate District. So yeah, it's the Iron Range, and happy to be here. Thank you.
And then what school districts do you represent?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I have
Testing.
part of the Aiken School District, McGregor, Grand Rapids, Greenway, Deer River, Chisholm, Hibbing, Nashua, Keewatin, Floodwood, Mesabi East. Do you want me to do all of them? You're just testing me. Rock Ridge.
You know, if you forget
The
one,
St.
they're going to
Louis
let you
County
know.
School District. I think that's all of them. I have like 12 of them or something like that.
Okay, thank you. I don't know, big competition here between all of you guys, yeah. Well, thank you all for representing the communities that you do represent on this committee. I know you all bring unique and remarkable insight to this committee, and as always, I'm always open to hearing and learning about your districts, as well as any legislation that you might bring forward that might have really good positive effects on educating our kids. So we have a whole slew of testifiers here today. We're going to be talking about the impact that ICE has had on our educational system. But before we begin, I just want to say a few words. So it has been almost 10 weeks since I witnessed my first ICE raid in my district, and the actions and the violence that escalated with over 3,000 untrained, unsupervised, violent members of ICE that terrorized my communities and many other communities as well. My communities of Columbia Heights and Fridley, I feel, have experienced some of the worst, and it continues to this day. Over the past several weeks, we have seen ICE engaged in dragnet operations targeting our immigrant neighbors and signaling out our Black and brown Americans regardless of their immigration status. ICE has strayed far from their supposed mission of immigration and customs enforcement. We have seen countless videos of their unaccountable, unidentified, masked agents harassing, assaulting, kidnapping, and killing Minnesotans. Minnesotans are rightfully horrified by these actions, and on top of that, our federal government has stood by those actions, attempted to spin their own narrative, and repeatedly told us, don't believe your lying eyes. Today's committee hearing will focus on the devastating effect of that ICE has had on the education system that we have worked so hard to bring back from the pandemic. This committee, Education Policy Finance, has been nothing but intentional in addressing the mental health challenges and absenteeism that has plagued our students and our staff these past 4 years, and now it is clear that we are back to ground zero due to the terrorizing action by ICE. One of the most significant effects has been the pervasive fear among immigrant and non-immigrant families alike. Many students worry about their parents and their friends being detained or deported, which can lead to chronic anxiety, and this fear often manifests in decreased student attendance and participation. ICE agents have dressed in plain clothes, showed up at schools claiming to pick up food or drop off food in order to identify families who are not attending school or able to get out to the grocery stores. Students in classrooms had actually witnessed their classmate who was home because they were too afraid to attend school in person, and they watched in horror as this student's home was raided by ICE and the family detained. NPR News reached out to approximately 90 Minnesotans of more than 300 public school districts in January to ask whether student attendance had been affected by the presence of federal enforcement officers throughout the state. Approximately 24 schools responded, and over half of the respondents, most in the Twin Cities Metro, reported that many students are staying home from school because they or their families are afraid of encountering federal agents. In those districts with widespread federal activity, as many as 20 to 40% of the students have been absent in recent weeks. Federal agents used school parking lots for staging their enforcement activities, and that triggered school leaders to lock down our buildings. The Robbinsdale School District, officials say a parent was detained by ICE agents at the school bus stop on January 14th while students sat there and had to witness that. List goes on, and you'll probably hear more in just a few minutes. The impact of immigration and customs enforcement enforcement, ICE, on Minnesota schools is a pressing and most important issue right now. It intertwines education, community safety, and the well-being of our students, staff, and communities. These raids are disrupting not only individual families, but entire communities. Parents afraid to leave their homes for fear of being detained or targeted, stores and restaurants closing or locking their doors in terror of being targeted for being other. Across the state, we have worked hard to build educational safe havens where students find support and stability. But when students and families feel targeted, we see that they withdraw from on-site instruction and school activities, or even relocating, adding to loss of community connection. This disruption is sure to have long-term effects on the school fabric of neighborhoods and small businesses, impacting student learning, friendships, and support networks. So as we move forward in this next session, we will be focusing, I would say, primarily on the impact of ICE on our schools, the mental health of our students, our administration, our staff, as well as how we are going to once again address the issues around absenteeism. And so with that, I think we will begin our testifying. We have just a really great variety of folks that have offered to testify. I do have to remind you that your testimony will have to be left to about 3 minutes because we have over 20 folks that would like to speak. We are going to have a timer that will ring when you reach your time, and so then I'd ask you to finish up your final thoughts. And then, members, we're going to hold all of our comments and questions until the end of the hearing. And Senator Rarick, you would like to speak.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. And I think what I would like to ask for the rest of the hearings that we're going to have for this session is better notice of what the subject is going to be. The 72-hour notice that we were given just said we're going to get a status update from schools, which did not give us any ability to prepare for what was going to be discussed and talked about. I don't think that's really the way, and I think even more so, not for us, but for other members of the public who would have liked to have submitted testimony. They had no idea what they should be submitting for this hearing. So I sure hope we can do better to keep the public involved so that they know what is coming forward, so that if they have thoughts and opinions that they want to share, they have an ability to do that as well.
We will absolutely make that more clear as we go forward. And if there are people out there that would like to send in testimony, we are happy to continue to accept it. Maybe we will be coming back and readdressing this as the session goes on, and that would provide opportunity for more testifiers and folks to speak their piece. So with that, we're going to begin. I'm going to call up 3 people at a time, and if you all 3 would come up and sit at the chairs and prepare, and then I will constantly be updating that list so that we can move through very quickly. When you get to your seat, please identify yourself, and when I call on you, you can begin. All right, so with that, I would like to invite Superintendent Brenda Lewis from the Fridley Schools to the table, Zaina Stenvik, Superintendent from Columbia Heights Public Schools to the table, and Mandy Zhang, teacher at Highland Park Middle School to the table. And Ms. Superintendent Lewis, if you'd like to begin.
Good morning, Brenda Lewis, Superintendent, Fridley Public Schools. Should I go with my testimony, or do you want her to?
Nope, you go right ahead.
Okay. Brenda Lewis, Superintendent, Fridley Public Schools. We serve 2,700 students in Fridley. We are 80% students of color, and we are 72% students who come from families living in poverty. When you think of our district, think of 40% of our students are Black, 25% of our students are Hispanic Latino, 12% of our students are 2 or more race, 7% Asian, and about 20% of our students are white. Our students are heavily Somali, heavy West African, heavy Liberian, and we have our greatest growing population right now is Ecuadorian. We are very proud of our students. As was said in the earlier remarks, we have made so much gains, specifically in the area of literacy and math with respect to the pandemic, and we have seen huge, huge changes in our academic achievement as a result of ICE, and we will see much more of that as we continue. I want to take you back 3 weeks ago today, about this time. I received notification when I was out with our team every morning and every afternoon. We go to every school and we go into our neighborhoods, and our job is not to interfere with ICE. Our job is simply to make sure that our students are able to get to and from school safely. My job is also not to talk about immigration policy or reform. My job is absolutely student safety and student learning. That morning, we started out with hearing that there were 6 ICE vehicles that were driving up and back outside of our elementary school. That's the only street our elementary school students can use to get to school, as well as our families dropping off in all of our buses and all of our transportation vans. Then, these 6 ICE vehicles got into our roundabout, which is adjacent to our school, and they would not stop circling, and they prevented our children from crossing. We have 3 crossing guards that are staff crossing guards, not student crossing guards. They were unable to cross our students safely that morning. We had ICE agents, a vehicle of 4 ICE agents representing themselves as the media with orange armbands, that were yelling and screaming at our staff, at our principal, videoing them and taking pictures. We had a board member who lives right behind the school who was taking her 3-year-old to childcare, followed by ICE agents all the way from her home to daycare. We then had a mom who is legally in the country, followed by 2 ICE vehicles. This is how kindergarten through 4th graders started their day at Hayes Elementary School. I wish that I could tell you this was the only situation. I wish that I could tell you that this is an exaggerated situation. Unfortunately, this is the reality that Fridley Public Schools, Columbia Heights Public Schools, and other school districts have been living in for the past several months now. We need help. We need support. We have 112 students that aren't with us, that were with us in December. We have over 400 children that are now in virtual learning. We are proud of the fact that we stood up our virtual learning program in 4 days, but it is absolutely not the same as in-person learning. And while I believe that virtual learning is a great option for some children, the reason that our children are choosing virtual learning right now is because it is unsafe for them to come to school.
Superintendent, I think we need to wrap up if you don't mind.
We've had ICE agents at our bus stops, and I just want us to really focus on the mental health for our students, the mental health for our staff, and the academics. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Superintendent. I know that you have been boots on the ground this entire time, and you yourself have been threatened, not just once, but a number of times. And so thank you for taking the courage to model what it is to take care of our children. Thank you. Superintendent Sandvik.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you for having me this morning. I'll provide a brief overview and then a financial impact that ICE has had on our community, our school community. Columbia Heights Public Schools serves about 3,400 students, 800 of whom are currently enrolled in our, or recently enrolled in our online learning program solely out of fear. Previous to January, we had about 25 secondary, middle school, plus high school students enrolled in our online program. Our school district has been massively impacted by the actions taken by DHS and ICE in our community over the last several weeks. Several students have been pulled over on their way to school. Dozens of our parents have been detained. 7 of our students were taken during this surge, and 6 of them were taken within hours, flown to the Dilley Detention Center in Texas. As of last week, we had 2 students still in the detention center in Texas. I learned yesterday that our 11th grader and her mother were deported back to their home country. And she had been with us since middle school. So really big loss for our school community. And they had been at that detention center for over a month, and similarly with our current 5th grader who's been there over a month. We've all seen the groups in our community, groups of 8 or more, masked, unidentified, armed, oftentimes men, but not always, swarming cars and pulling them over. 3 of them will box in our 17-year-olds on their way to school. Our first child was taken with her mother on their way to school as they were driving to school that morning. The families I have worked with, the 7 families, have come to this country by legal means. I've seen the immigration paperwork with my own eyes because they've shown it to me asking for help, right? They're not violent criminals. They're mothers, fathers, children, neighbors. So I do want to thank the hundreds of community members, teachers, and other staff and parents who have shown up for our school community by standing on every corner of every morning and every afternoon, even several blocks up, just being on the watch. Senator Kunesh herself, who represents our school community, was out several mornings volunteering as a crossing guard. Again, children are no longer serving as school patrols. We have adults doing that at this point because it's too risky. So imagine being a legal immigrant to our nation, or even a US citizen, not a criminal, being racially profiled to the extent of being too scared to leave your home for weeks and months. Community members rallied around our neighbors to deliver weekly groceries, provide rent assistance, and pick up crucial medications from pharmacies. Our school district enrollment is down as of today, compared to this time last year, 130 students, and I link that directly to ICE operations in our district. This decline in enrollment alone will result in a nearly $2 million funding loss for our district, where we're already faced with a $3.6 million loss in compensatory revenue. Funding shortfalls aside, our community will need the support to repair harm, both for academic learning loss with 800 kids online and mental health supports as well. So it's taken a toll on our staff, our students, and all of our community. Thank you.
Thank you also for your advocacy, your willingness to work with the families and help those families. You both are just like real role models, real heroes to me. Thank you both so much. Next, we will hear from Mandy Zhang, teacher at Highland Park. And if Mary Granlin and Carrie Rodriguez would come to the table, thank you very much for your testimony.
Hi, my name is Mandy Jung. I do not represent my school district, and these are my personal views. Yesterday in the hallway, my student Ashley came up to me and said, "Good news, Ms. Jung, my mom got free." A month ago, Ashley came back to her apartment and both her parents were missing. She didn't know where they were. Her father remains in detention. Benito and his cousin were walking home from the store in early December. They were stopped by masked men and put in the back of an unmarked vehicle. The men asked for their papers. Benito, being 12, did not have any papers. He gave them his school ID, a meaningless piece of laminated paper with his smiling face and family name. They let him go. They kept his school ID. Ivan has been in hiding since January. He sends me emails asking when he can come back to school. I tell him I don't know. I paid his family's rent for January, $2,000. I don't know who covered February. Nicole was the first. Her father was taken from his job site. It cost $20,000 to get him back. Nicole's mother and youngest brother are disabled. When I talked about it online, asked people to donate money, several commentators called Nicole's family collateral damage and useless eaters. I paid their rent too. My students have more courage than every member of this committee. Some of them crossed a desert, waded through rivers, faced indignities and danger that we can only imagine, all to have the chance to sit in my classroom and dream. My students' stories have power, not to move you, because if your heart has not been moved by the sight of a blue bunny hat, or tear gas being deployed on school buses, or the federal government shooting a man 10 times in the back, then I'm afraid a few more sad stories will not fix that. No, I share my students' stories to shame you. Shame on you for your silence, shame on you for your inaction, and shame on you for your cowardice. I encourage you, GOP senators, say something, anything. You know this has gone too far. You know this is not over. A retreating force does not spend millions of dollars buying warehouses to hold people indefinitely. Speaking out is scary. Believe me, I know. I face threats and insults every day online. Someone mailed me a photo of my nephew to my home address. But I also see my students every day. I see the pain they are going through. No one deserves this, and especially not them. In closing, I know many of you are Christians. I know you believe in the power of salvation. I am an atheist. I don't believe in God. I believe in the people. Your God may forgive you for your weakness, but the people will not. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chung. Mary Granlund from the school board member, Columbia Heights, and then we'll have Carrie Rodriguez, and then Joey Shenyan from the Minnesota Charter School Association. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, members of the committee. I'm the Columbia Heights School Board Chair, which I have proudly served my community for the last 6 years as a school board member and as a community member for far longer. Since the surge, our school district feels a lot more empty. Our halls used to be bursting with students. Now it is bursting with supplies, groceries, toiletries, diapers, formula, all of the things that a family needs that we may take for granted, but our families aren't able to leave because our streets, which also used to be full of vibrant walkers, I would see so many students walking every single day to school, no matter how cold it was. Our streets are empty. We don't have walkers anymore because it is not safe. Because in our 3 square mile community of Columbia Heights, our school district is a little bit bigger than that, but in Columbia Heights, where most of our schools are, it's not safe to walk because we have gangs of armed agents in unmarked vehicles wearing masks with no badges, rolling up to students, blocking them in. As they're walking, stopping them, grabbing them, taking them to who knows where, which eventually we determined was most likely Dilley. We did not know about the last, our 7th student. We had an idea that maybe they were there. We could not get information. But when we had 2 students come back, one of them said, "Oh, that girl, she was in my class. She's at Dilley." Our government is disappearing our students, our family members, our friends, our neighbors, our community members, our business leaders. As a school board, we have made big cuts over the last years, and we try to make cuts as far away from the classroom as we can. We are not going to be able to do that anymore. This surge impacts us financially, as well as emotionally, as well as physically. We used to have an incredibly vibrant community of immigrant-owned businesses, of restaurants that, you know, pick a ethnic cuisine and you can find it in Columbia Heights. It's incredibly diverse. Those businesses are closed because it is not safe, not only for the customers, it is not safe for the business owners to come to their own businesses. That impact, that tax impact on our community and then on our school district cannot be appropriately measured. We need help, not only from the federal government, we need help from the state government too, not only to get our children and our families and our neighbors home, we also need help with reparations. We are going to be looking at, with all of those cuts, with the compensatory aid and the fewer students that we have, we're looking at somewhere close to $8 to $10 million at this point. And our school district and our community cannot wear that. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that information. Thank you very much. Next, we have Carrie Rodriguez from the National Parents Union.
Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Carrie Rodriguez. I am Matthew, Miles, and David's mom, and I am the president of the National Parents Union. And on behalf of the parents and families across the United States that I represent, about 2 million of them, I want to say that we see you and we are heartbroken in this moment. We are in a crisis of freedom and safety, two promises that every child in America should be guaranteed: the freedom to go to school and the safety to walk home. Classrooms, buses, playgrounds, and hallways should be safe spaces. But in Minnesota, and unfortunately in communities across the country, that promise is being broken. This morning, we have provided your committee with 2 of our reports, The Attack on American Childhood and Learning Under Threat, to help you put real numbers and real data to how catastrophic this has been for our children, and we hope this is helpful. This legislature has made historic investments in public education. You've increased the per-pupil funding formula, strengthened special education funding, and implemented the Minnesota READ Act to ensure that every child can learn how to read through evidence-based instruction. Districts have hired literacy coaches, expanded tutoring, and added counselors and social workers. And after years of mixed results, progress was finally beginning to show. Attendance rebounding, consistent attendance in Minneapolis rising by 40%, and achievement improving, with Minnesota climbing 5 rankings in math on the National Assessment of Educational Progress to 3rd in the nation for 8th grade math. But that progress depends on stability. That stability has been shattered by the aggressive immigration enforcement activity near our communities and schools. Children cannot benefit from investments in literacy, tutoring, or counseling if they are not physically present in classrooms. The impact is immediate. Attendance at Minneapolis charter schools fell below 50% following community violence tied to enforcement activity. Rochester saw an 81% increase in excused absences in January and a 417% spike amongst English learners, and families of students with disabilities right now are keeping their children home out of fear, cutting them off from critical therapies and services this legislature has invested in. Across the country, we are seeing similar disruption, from thousands of students absent in Los Angeles to tens of thousands staying home during enforcement activity in Charlotte, North Carolina. Educators are now warning families of patrols, developing emergency safety plans, and shifting into crisis response instead of instruction. Until families feel safe, Minnesota's educational progress is going to remain on hold. That is why we are asking this legislature to take immediate steps to protect and support students by doing the following. Number 1, increasing funding for mental health support and trauma support, invest in making up learning time through extended learning and high-impact tutoring, and maintaining laws and enforcement around assessments and transparency so we can measure the impact and long-term impacts on children and track the results of the investments we need to make. We are so proud of you. We are so sorry that you are going through this moment, and we will continue to stand with you and provide whatever data and resources we can.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rodriguez, and the data that you've provided is incredibly valuable, so thank you again very much. And then next we have Joy from the Minnesota Charter School Association.
Thank you, Chair Kunish and members of the committee, for the opportunity to testify today. My name is Joey Chenyan. I serve as Executive Director of the Minnesota Association of Charter Schools. I'm here representing chartered public schools across Minnesota who are operating in sustained emergency mode due to the immigration enforcement surge of the last 3 months. What I'm about to describe is not political rhetoric. It's what school leaders are reporting daily. This is not about immigration policy. It is about the unintended consequences of recent actions on schools and students. Since enforcement operations escalated, schools have reported ICE vehicles near buildings and in school parking lots, agents using binoculars to look into classrooms, armed individuals making arrests in neighborhoods where children walk to school, unmarked vehicles detaining community members just outside of school grounds, agents boxing in buses and waiting at bus stops, staff detained on their way to work and asked for proof of citizenship, and minors stopped or detained without their parents, and families transferred out of the state. This is happening in school communities across Minnesota, and the result is profound academic disruption. Regardless of immigration status, many families are afraid to leave their homes. Parents are keeping children home after seeing arrests in their neighborhoods. Attendance is swinging dramatically, with some schools reporting 40 to 50% of students absent in recent weeks, despite significant efforts to reconnect with them. Schools are shifting to hybrid and online learning to help connect with kids, but academic progress is being disrupted in real time. Hard-won post-pandemic gains are being undone. Staff are burning out after months of double duty. Field trips, sports, recess, and after-school programs have been restricted or canceled. Buildings have tightened security. Time that should be spent on instruction is being spent on safety planning. Teachers and leaders are being threatened and harassed. Some schools have received bomb threats. Students are missing classmates who vanish overnight. Many are witnessing arrests in their neighborhoods. There is growing psychological trauma and a loss of trust in institutions that are meant to protect communities. Students continue to disappear from classrooms, and when students disappear, so does funding, especially in schools serving higher concentrations of English learners and BIPOC students. Many of these schools are already operating on thin margins. We are deeply concerned about budgets destabilized simply because of the students these schools serve during this emergency. Let me be clear. Schools are asking for stability. They are asking for clarity around testing and compliance requirements. They are asking for flexibility. They are asking for support. Because students are being impacted regardless of citizenship status, and these are Minnesota students sitting in Minnesota classrooms, when fear becomes part of the learning environment, every child loses. As a result, we will see sustained learning loss, long-term mental health consequences, deepened achievement gaps, and financial destabilization of vulnerable schools. And all of these things need to be addressed. So we urge this body to step up, provide flexibility to deal with the consequences of these emergency conditions, provide stabilization and fiscal support for schools experiencing sudden enrollment and revenue swings, and provide school safety funding for charter public school students to address the extraordinary security costs schools have absorbed and to protect students moving forward. Schools are often the most stable place in a child's life. Right now, that stability is cracking. Our leaders and staff are showing up every day, and they're hanging on by a thread. Our schools need your support because the consequences of this moment will be long-lasting. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your testimony. We have a remote testifier, Kara Hahn, if you are there. And then I would call up Bill Adams, Sarah Lindsay, and Becca Dryden to the table. And Ms. Hahn, would you state your name and then you may begin?
Yes, my name is Kara Hun. I'm a Spanish teacher in Columbia Heights Public Schools. I would like to echo many of the people who spoke before me, my superintendent, as well as the board chair, as well as my fellow educator that said a few more sad stories I don't think are going to change your mind. So I would just like to plead with you about the financial situation in our district. It's my 15th, 16th year teaching, and I've never started a school year thinking about the next financial year quite so much. This is all before ICE started assaulting our community. We know with compensatory aid, special ed cuts across the nation, that we're going to be bare bones as it is. Despite that, I want you to understand how we started the school year. My staff, my students, we all felt happy. We felt optimistic. We felt, as Senator Kunish alluded to, post-COVID, things are getting better. Our literacy rates were going back on track. We were working hard. We were going, ooh, next year might be an issue with our budget, but we're putting our head down and we are working hard. And now we're working triple and feeling like we're going nowhere. So we are going to need your help. I ask you to consider the hypocrisy that for my whole career, and I know many educators' career before me, we were told, we know you do good work. We know it's important. We know it lowers crime. We know it lowers need for SNAP. But unfortunately, there's just no money. We cannot help you. We have to cut special ed. And now we see the money. It's driving around our schools every day in vehicles. It's hotel rooms. So my colleagues and I are buying tissues because there's no money, but we see the money now. So I'd ask especially my moderate conservative peers, I have good roots up in the Iron Range. I have District 196 is where I grew up. I understand how the other side thinks. There's no money. We see it now. And I would just like to ask that you help us out so we can do our work again because we were doing a good job.
Thank you, Ms. Hun, and thank you for your your dedication to your students and to the rest of your staff who are working so hard to make sure that the students have those resources that they need. They are very lucky to have you. Thank you very much.
Madam Chair.
All right, next we have Bill Adams, Superintendent of the Wilmer Public Schools.
All right, Madam Chair, members of the committee, thank you for having me here today. My name is Bill Adams. I'm Superintendent of the Wilmer Public Schools, one of Senator Lang's 22 school districts and 20 superintendents. And I'm here to share factual data regarding the operational and educational impact of recent immigration enforcement activities in our district. For context, we serve roughly 4,000 students, and according to the website Niche, we're the 8th most diverse school district in the state of Minnesota. During the week of December 17th, following the first reports of ICE activity in Wilmer, our daily student absences more than doubled, jumping from an average of 230 to just under 600 students. Attendance stabilized until the week of January 12th, when one of our students was detained by ICE agents downtown. I can confirm that this student is a legal resident, and she returned home after several days at the Whipple building, but the event triggered a severe disruption. That week, out of our 4,000 students, we saw an average of 936 daily absences, peaking at 1,214 on a single day. To illustrate why, I want to share a factual report. On January 15th, a legal U.S. citizen attending our area learning center was stopped by ICE agents immediately parking near the school. They demanded extra verification of his citizenship and student status before allowing him inside. He arrived deeply frightened and lost vital instructional time, needing to spend the morning with our counselor to process the encounter. When families hear about legal citizens being stopped steps from our doors, it directly explains the unprecedented fear and the average of 936 students that were absent that week. Even as attendance began to recover by late January, we experienced a major operational shift. Approximately 130 students transferred to our online learning platform. When staff contacted families, parents explicitly cited fear as the primary driver across all demographics. Families of our Black and brown students feared profiling and family separation, even as legal residents. White families reported keeping children home due to anxieties about potential law enforcement activity inside our school buildings. Educationally, these disruptions create measurable learning loss. Despite our staff's relentless work, there is no substitute for in-person learning, as we learned during the pandemic. And we anticipate a negative impact on our MCA achievement data this spring. Operationally, my own role shifted. I spent days driving between school bus stops and conducting home visits when parents were reportedly detained, solely to verify that an adult was present to care for the students. Fortunately, we've only processed 2 15-day enrollment drops. However, the events of the past 2 months have caused tangible disruptions to our primary mission of educating students. I am hopeful we can stabilize our learning environment and return to the welcoming community Wilmer is known to be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Superintendent, and I hope that we see some positive changes as the year goes on. Thank you very much. Ms. Lindsay, if you'd like to state your name, teacher, parent from Minneapolis Public School.
Good morning. My name is Sarah. I am a teacher and an MPS parent. I am one of the leaders of the parent and caregiver-led group at my child's school that has delivered weekly groceries to 185 families, paid rent for 117 families, and has given consistent rides for 70 kids. But I'm here because the women whose stories I'm bringing don't feel safe to share their own stories in person. A family in South Minneapolis shared, "We haven't left our home in 8 weeks. Our 4 children engage in online learning at a whisper to ensure that they cannot be heard outside of our home, and blackout curtains cover our windows to prevent any indication that we are home. Our children do not even see the light of the sun." A mother in North Minneapolis shared with me, "My children are 8, 4, and 3 years old. I was detained while working, and I am the breadwinner. My young children and my husband face 6 interminable weeks without me. My second grader was too terrified to even go to school. My husband wept on the phone with strangers. My children would not have eaten or remained housed without grocery and rent support from the team of parents at my child's school." A child shared with me, "I am only 7 years old, and I have to walk to the bus stop alone. My parents watch me anxiously from the window. I have spent these months, days, hours in anguish, terrified every day that I will be separated from my parents. A mother of 2 in central Minneapolis worked at a Latino market, but it was forced to close because ICE presence has driven customers away. She shared, "I had to make the choice in December between saving to pay for my rent or buying food for my children. When I personally brought food for them from the school for the first time, the older child said, 'Nos salvó del hambre.' You saved us from going hungry." It still makes me cry. These are 4 tiny snapshots into the lives of 4 families, but there are thousands of families across Minnesota who are suffering because of the violence and terror of ICE. These families asked me to tell you that schools have become the center of support and care, but they are very worried about their children's mental health, their education, and their futures. Our students have faced unspeakable trauma under ICE's occupation. These children are ours, and they are suffering. We need you to address the MPS budget crisis, to invest in more funding for mental health support, and to address the deep educational losses of our impacted students. Far too much has been taken away from Minnesota families because of ICE. Together, we can begin to heal. It will take all of us. Parents and caregivers have stepped up to lead in this moment, and now it is time for you as legislators to step up, to lead, and to support our impacted communities. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lindsay. We'll hear from Ms. Dryden in a minute, but if Betsy Luth, Karen Klinzing, and MJ Johnson would get ready to testify, and thank you for your testimony today. All right, Ms. Dryden, would you like to introduce yourself, and you may begin.
Yeah, my name is Becca. I'm a member of Minneapolis Families for Public Schools, and I have 2 kids in Minneapolis Public Schools. This is a letter from 2 different neighbors. Good morning. Our names are Erica and William. We want to share our stories with the state legislators so you have a better idea of what is happening to us as immigrants in Minneapolis. We came here 3 years ago with our 2 children and started our asylum process right away. The children started school in South Minneapolis and love their school. Before the raid started, I was working in construction, painting, snow removal, and any work I could get, usually making $500 a week. My wife was making about $300 from cleaning homes. It wasn't a lot, and some weeks we made more and other weeks less, but we could pay our rent, buy groceries, and pay for things our children needed. Then in December, we stopped working because we were too scared of getting detained. Our children started online learning. They miss their friends and seeing their teachers in class. They want to go outside, but are too scared to go because they have heard other children have been taken. We had to rely on the school community to help us with rent assistance, groceries, legal support, and other essentials. And this is from Erica. Hello, my name is Erica. I was detained at my check-in a few weeks ago. I was not able to call my family to tell them. The volunteer who gave me a ride told the school volunteers that I had not come out after a couple of hours. My husband was told I was taken by a volunteer because I wasn't allowed a call. My passport, along with my husband's and children's passports, were taken too when I was detained. I spent 6 days away from my children, not knowing when I could see them again. I was sent to Texas even after my lawyer submitted a habeas petition within hours. I barely ate the 6 days I was detained because all they gave us was crackers and water. I had only a few seconds to call my husband to tell him I was being released. There were volunteers waiting at midnight when I got out. I was so scared. One of the volunteers was from our school community. They took me home to my husband and children. We shared this with you because for any parent, our children are everything. Right now, for impacted parents across Minnesota, our children need more support than we can provide. The community has been stepping up in big and powerful ways, but ultimately, we need your support, legislators. We need resources to pay for legal services, groceries, an eviction moratorium, and rent relief. And our children need more support at school to make up for the unbelievable loss of weeks of isolation from their school community and education. We want to work. Our children want to learn. And we need you to follow the lead of our school communities, who are like our family now, and support impacted families by investing in our schools and our families. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing those stories, and all the best to those families. If Ms. Sluth, would you like to introduce yourself, and you may begin?
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Betsy Leet, and I'm Executive Director of Twin Cities Academy, a charter school serving 545 students in grades 6 through 12 on the east side of St. Paul. I want to thank you, Chair Kunish, and members of the committee for this opportunity to speak about the trauma our students and staff experienced during the Metro Surge operations. Twin Cities Academy has prepared students for post-secondary success for over 20 years. 70% of our students qualify for free and reduced price lunch, 20% receive English learner services, 25% special education services, and 89% are BIPOC. We serve a resilient, hardworking, and deeply diverse community. On the Monday after winter break, ICE vehicles surrounded an apartment building directly across from our school, home to many of our students. As students arrived, 4 to 5 ICE vehicles slowly drove the streets around our campus. This continued throughout the week during arrival and dismissal. On Thursday that week, ICE vehicles left when our buses left, and according to multiple reports, followed those buses. The fear was immediate and overwhelming. I made the decision to close the school the next day to establish protocols to protect students' safety. That Friday, several students arrived unaware we had shifted to online learning. As administrators walked them home, ICE vehicles followed and later parked outside of their homes. The message to families was clear and terrifying. The following Monday, I asked our staff to do more without additional funding. Out of 80 staff members, 60 volunteered. 30 teachers provided online instruction for the last 5 weeks in addition to their regular duties. Staff delivered groceries, monitored bus routes, and increased supervision. In crisis, they showed extraordinary commitment. Community partners helped, but it was not enough. Our social workers and bilingual notaries visited more than 25 families to complete DOPA documentation. Children were too frightened to open doors until they saw a familiar school face. Parents sobbed while asking who would take custody of their children if they were detained despite their legal refugee status. Some were too afraid to leave home for essential medication. The trauma also extended to staff. I witnessed teachers in tears reporting physical symptoms of stress, and 2 of our awesome teachers, recently naturalized U.S. citizens, have told us they will resign at the end of the year due largely to safety concerns. We anticipate attendance declines, academic setbacks, increased transportation costs, and staff retention challenges. But beyond metrics, the greatest loss is this: children who want to learn and feel safe at school were denied that safety. For more than 20 years, I have led schools serving diverse communities. We will always respond with compassion and determination, but we cannot do it alone. I respectfully ask that you consider the lasting impact these operations have on school communities. Our students deserve to learn free from fear, our staff deserves support, and our families deserve stability. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Next, we have Karen Klinzing, Executive Director, Hiawatha Academy. And then we'll have MJ Johnson, and then if Heidi Nestler would like to join us at the table too. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Kunish and Senators. Thank you for the opportunity to share the impact of the recent federal immigration enforcement surge on 1,700 K-12 students at Hiawatha Academies, which has 2 campuses in Minneapolis. Immigration enforcement has had indelible impacts on all of our students, whether born in the U.S. or not. Therefore, we need, as a group here today, to set immigration politics aside. I've been in your shoes, I understand, but today is the day where we take our responsibility as educators and as state leaders, which is our responsibility that is very clear. We're accountable for the education and well-being of every single child in the state of Minnesota. At Hiawatha Academies, 86% of our students are Hispanic or Latino, 10% are Black or African American, 65% are English language learners. 86% qualify for free reduced price lunch. Most live in neighborhoods that became ground zero for recent federal law enforcement activity. In December, what began as isolated incidents quickly escalated. By January, immigration enforcement activity near our campuses required daily security measures. We canceled field trips, outdoor recess, staggered dismissal, escorted students to cars and bus stops, and arranged door-to-door transportation. The day after winter break, unmarked law enforcement vehicles circled our K-8 campus throughout the school day. The next day, one of our high school students was detained at a bus stop on his way home from school. He was held for 5 days with minimal contact with his family until returned home to Minnesota because of his legal status. At this point, we knew we needed to do more. We closed school for 2 days, created an alternative learning program. When we reopened, 50% of our students chose to learn from home because they were afraid to travel to and from school. Within a week of reopening, immigration enforcement officials followed 2 students into our parking lot and blocked their vehicle. When officers confirmed the students were 17-year-old U.S. citizens, they were released. Now, not feeling safe, those students immediately switched to remote learning. Later that same day, 2 additional students, a brother and sister, ages 16 and 17, were stopped while driving home from school and detained until evening before being released due to their legal status. Attendance began declining. Before the surge, we maintained over 90% attendance. With only 50% in person, students have lost learning momentum. While other peers across the state and nation are continuing preparing for access and MCAs, ACT and AP exams, our focus has had to shift from closing the opportunity gap to keeping kids safe, nourished, and connected. For some students, coming to school became a lifeline for these families and neighbors sheltering at home. Staff and community partners mobilized to provide food and basic necessities. Students carry bags of groceries and supplies home on buses each night. Almost 10% of our funding reduction that we're going to face this coming year is due to a state law from 2023 that changed compensatory aid formula. That disproportionately impacts every school in here that is testifying today that serves many immigrant students. I would ask you today, our students are resilient, the staff here are resilient, but we are asking for restoration of the prior compensatory aid formula because it is disproportionately impacting those communities that are serving immigrant students. Also, we need to take every one of Minnesota's children that deserves stability, safety, and equitable investment in mind when passing our laws. Resilience is not enough. We need your support.
Thank you very much, and thank you for that suggestion about comprehensive aid. Next, we have Ms. Nestler. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, MJ Johnson, excuse me, Executive Director, Partnership Academy.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm MJ Johnson, and I'm the proud Executive Director of Partnership Academy, a charter school located in Richfield, Minnesota. Our school serves 533 students enrolled in pre-K through 8th grade and is demographically made up of 92% Hispanic students, 73% multilingual learners, and 80% of our students qualify as free and reduced lunch. Our students come from 3 primary localities: Richfield, Bloomington, and Minneapolis. Amongst our community, we have a myriad of lived experiences, including many of whom are descendants of immigrants or are recent immigrants to the United States, are dreamers on DACA, and for those unfamiliar, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, who all migrated here to build a better life and pursue the American dream. I'm here to provide testimony on the impact of Operation Metro Surge on my school and many others. As you can gather from our demographics, the political climate leading up to and during the surge, and then the violent tactics and tragedies that soon followed, engendered a sense of fear and uncertainty amongst my particular school community. Prior to the surge, like many schools, Partnership Academy intensively worked to mitigate the impacts of COVID on academic and social-emotional learning, and mental health and well-being. After our first year of implementing the plan, I'm proud to report that we ended last school year having made significant strides toward our goals. Specifically, we saw significant improvement in student culture, with 80% of our students feeling like they belong, are safe at school, and have adults that care about their learning and achievement. We maintained our strong attendance, sitting at or slightly above the statewide average. And notably, we saw improvement in academic performance, specifically 8% improvement on our reading scores and 16% improvement on our math scores. Educators in the room know how difficult that is to make those gains in just 1 year. Recognizing that we still had a mountain to climb, we set out this school year aiming to make even more gains in student culture and academic achievement. However, Operation Metro Surge has directly and severely disrupted that progress and has left devastating impacts on our students, families, and staff's sense of physical and emotional safety and well-being. As a community, we have experienced a decline in attendance. Up to December, we saw a daily attendance of 90%. The Monday after Renee Good was murdered, we saw an all-time low attendance of 39%, sending us into a fully virtual learning model. And we all know from COVID-19 that the model will have a lasting negative impact on our students' academic achievement. During the surge, we saw ICE vehicles and agents in our community, canvassing local businesses and establishments, and witnessed violent abduction of community members. Eventually, our students and families started to experience our own families being detained. Our Black and brown staff feared commuting to and from work, seeing that people were being targeted by the color of their skin. And even while virtual, we're scarred from witnessing families and staff members interrupted by ICE activity on school Zoom cameras in the background while in class. School buses and vans were followed by ICE while picking up and dropping off students, and again weeks later while delivering food and household goods to families who could not leave their homes for fear of violence and targeted and discriminatory acts. We have a long list of families who reached out with safety concerns about their students, insecurities regarding food, housing, employment, Wi-Fi and internet connection, childcare, and requested support when family members were being detained. As a school leader who is proud of my community during this time, I'm angry and my heart aches for my kids. Just last week, Partnership Academy was highlighted in the New York Times for efforts in service of families and communities. However, quite frankly, we shouldn't have to be this resilient. The tragic events that occurred and the pain my community has experienced, as Madam Chair stated earlier, will last a long, long time. And for many, that trauma will last a lifetime. As a school leader, on behalf of my community, we ask for funding to support and invest in opportunities that address the learning loss and restore a sense of physical and emotional safety and well-being for our students, staff, and families, so that we can continue on our road to opening up pathways for students to succeed, and especially for many of our immigrant families and dreamers. We wish to work to provide that fair fighting chance at the American dream.
Thank you, Ms. Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we will hear from Ms. Nessler, Ashley Hightower, and Chris Stinson.
Chair Kunish and members of the Education Finance Committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Heidi Nissler, and I'm an Assistant Superintendent of Specialized Services for St. Paul Public Schools. In St. Paul Public Schools, we serve almost 3,000 students, and almost 7,000 students receive special education services. While much of the public conversation about the impact of immigration enforcement is focused on schools in general, I'm here today to bring attention to a quiet but incredibly significant crisis, the specific impact this is having on children with disabilities and our families who are navigating the special education systems in our schools. For a student with an IEP, consistency isn't just a preference, it's a necessity. In early January, we saw the fragility of that consistency. In several Minnesota school districts, including my own, special education vans, vehicles carrying some of our most vulnerable students, were stopped on their way to school by federal agents. These were children with disabilities trying to go to school in a district vehicle. We must consider the reality of that moment. For any student, but especially a student with a disability, the appearance of masked agents is not a routine interaction. It is a high-intensity traumatic event that can trigger a severe emotional response, and it creates a sense of fear associated with simply coming to school. We are also seeing a trend of total isolation among targeted families with children with disabilities. Over 1,000 students with disabilities requested virtual services because they felt so unsafe leaving their home to come to school. Many parents are not only keeping their children with disabilities home from school, but are canceling vital medical appointments. They are faced with an impossible choice: seek the services their child needs to grow and make progress, or stay in their homes to avoid the risk of separation. When a child misses a month of specialized instruction, they don't maintain their skills, they lose skills. The milestones they have worked for years to reach, learning to communicate, learning to read more independently, learning to regulate their emotions, are being erased by a climate that makes the simple act of leaving the house feel like a life-altering risk. When a special education van is stopped, or when a student's special education services is disrupted because their family has deemed it unsafe to leave, to step outside their front door, the impact is not going to stop when federal agents leave. The impact is going to live on in the long-term well-being of our students. It's going to live on in the regression that our students are experiencing. I ask that you hold these student stories in your mind as you consider the future of education finance and safety of students with disabilities in the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nissler, and we definitely will keep these stories and the things that we're hearing top of mind as we go through this legislative session. Appreciate it. All right, Ms. Hightower.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair and committee members. My name is Ashley Hightower. I'm with Hennepin County's Be at School program, our state's largest educational neglect and truancy program. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today about the state of our students in Minnesota through a truancy and attendance lens. We are significantly seeing attendance instabilities in communities experiencing immigration-related disruption. Fear and uncertainty are impacting attendance engagements and overall student well-being. Thank you. When looking at our reports from last year, December to February, we received 3,302 truancy reports from school. This school year, for the same period, we have received approximately 450 fewer reports. Schools are asking us, should I continue to report students who have unexcused absences due to immigration enforcement concerns? This is causing major disruptions in our school. We're reminding school staff that new changes to attendance reporting statute 260E requires that students are offered services from a local welfare agency prior to a child protection or truancy response. Be at School's practice is to connect students to families, or connect families to our community agencies first. Because of the fear and uncertainty to report, students and families are losing on critical community services. Again, 450 students who would have otherwise been eligible for county services and resources will not get outreach from our program because of the fear and uncertainty created by the current immigration enforcement actions. In addition to this, another large disruption in the attendance world that we're going to encounter is the 15-day drop mandate. Unfortunately, with our current statewide attendance data systems, we're losing students. When a student is 15-day drop from enrollment, they are a habitual truant or a child in need of protection or services. If the school does not send that mandate to the county does not receive that record. This information is collected by the department for per pupil funding purposes, which is housed under the MARS department. Currently, the department does not report 15-day drop students to the counties or provide follow-up to ensure these students are re-enrolled. No other action for the student is being taken, as the schools have lost funding for the student and off their roster, and the county is left unaware. Attendance must be treated as a leading risk indicator for our students and addressed. If we do not address chronic absenteeism, especially in communities experiencing immigration-related disruptions, Minnesota really risks widening academic achievement gaps and increasing the dropout rates and early entry into our juvenile systems. We have a long road ahead of us, but we can do it. Be at School is requesting for your support in strengthening community channels. Minnesota communities need regular updates and resource sharing between counties, schools, and community agencies. We need a strengthening the statewide attendance data system for real-time interventions, investing in awareness and prevention, so focus on attendance campaigns, expanding the mental health and trauma-informed trainings for schools, and supporting culturally responsive outreach. Be It School remains committed to working collaboratively with schools to support students whose attendance may be affected by immigration-related disruptions. We want to reaffirm that schools play a critical role as safe, supportive environments for all students. Connecting families to trusted communities, social services, and mental health resources can help reduce barriers to attendance and engagement. Thank you for your time and commitment to Minnesota's students. I'm happy to share with you any of our attendance data. We have a ton, and to reach out to any of you with any additional questions and follow-up that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hightower. And we will be having another hearing around attendance. And so if you have more that you want to share, please reach out to Emma and let her know. We did have a task force to study attendance across Minnesota, and I have a feeling that we're going to have to totally shift when it comes to hearing all of that. So thank you for your work on this. Next, we'll have Mr. Stinson, and then if Josh Hermerding, Alex Samuelson, and Victoria Martinson would get ready to testify. Mr. Stinson.
Madam Chair and members, my name is Chris Stinson. I'm the Policy Director for SEIU 284. We represent more than 10,000 school workers, including paraeducators, food service workers, custodians, bus drivers, and higher education faculty throughout the state of Minnesota. Our union is working for a future where students in every Minnesota school have all that they need to succeed. You've heard a lot about the bus drivers, buses being followed, buses being boxed in. I'll just add that we've had bus drivers who had to hold kids on the bus because ICE was raiding the apartment building where they live, and it wasn't safe to let them off the bus to go home. We represent EL Paras in Ricori near the Pilgrim's Pride packing plant in Cold Spring, who say that only half the students have been showing up to school, fearing for their safety. We hear similar stories from across the state, and the damage that the federal government has inflicted on Minnesota's students is not limited to the metro, even though it was called Metro Surge. Many of our members of color have been followed by ICE, including one custodian where agents tried to follow him into the loading dock of the school. So we don't ask our members about their immigration status, but let me be clear, school district employees are authorized to be in and work in the United States. SEIU represents one member who was detained while getting groceries. She'd only been going to work and home in the grocery store for weeks. She was quickly sent from Minnesota to the camps in Texas, and while she was in the camps, she missed the birth of her granddaughter. Her family was counting on her to help with the new baby. Attorneys with SEIU helped her file a habeas petition. When a judge finally reviewed it, she was released. The judge said that she had been unlawfully detained. The disruption to her family, the disruption to her school community, the fear, the deprivation, the time she'll never get back, all of it was unlawful. And I shouldn't have looked at you, Madam Chair, because I know that you're a grandma. The damage to our state, to our kids, our schools, and our dedicated staff is incalculable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stinson. Yeah, that one really hit close to home. Next, we have, before we go to the next three attendants up there, testifiers up there, I'm going to invite Lori Smith from St. Cloud. She's going to join us remotely. If you'd like to introduce yourself, and you may begin.
Yep. Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Lori Smith. I'm a cook in the St. Cloud School District, and I'm a trustee on the executive board of SEIU 284. The state of Minnesota made sure that every student has access to nutritious meals at school, regardless of their parents' income or ability to pay. And what a huge difference that has made. Thank you. I know the kids who come to my lunch line. I can always tell who doesn't get enough to eat at home. And even though I'm not really supposed to, I slip them a little extra. Many of the kids who don't get enough at home are the same students who have not felt safe enough to come to school because of the ICE surge. I don't know the documentation status of any of the kids But if you're thinking that only kids of color stayed home, you'd be wrong. Lots of white kids have missed weeks of school too. Nutrition is one of the most important factors for student growth and academic success. Children behave and learn better when they're well nourished. Free meals are a good investment in our future. It breaks my heart that some of the kids who need it most aren't benefiting from the program right now. I've worked in the St. Cloud Public School for 18 years, and I've never seen a situation like this. Until recently, schools were off limits for ICE. We should go back to that. Kids have enough to worry about. Everyone should be safe at school. Thank you for all your work to ensure our kids have all they need to learn, grow, and thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith, and thank you for feeding our children and looking out for the most vulnerable. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Hammerding, would you like to introduce yourself, and you may begin.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Josh Hermerding, and I'm a multilingual teacher at Lucy Laney Elementary in the Cleveland neighborhood of North Minneapolis. With my comment today, I want to paint a picture of what a school day at Lucy Laney has looked like during ICE's occupation of our neighborhood and why it requires this legislature to support real, concrete steps to establish our schools as safe zones again. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. Before, I would take 30 minutes to sit quietly with some coffee or tea. Now I connect with my neighbors to see what's been happening in the neighborhood around my school. My priority as a teacher is to provide safe and stable schools, and part of that role is to inform families if unsafe conditions are present on the way to school. I get into my car at 6:50. Before, I would go into the school to prepare for class or connect with coworkers about student learning. Now, I have to make a small loop around the school. 4 times, as of yesterday, ICE has been found by school staff illegally using our school parking lots to stage operations. 14 days in a row, ICE has been found staging within 2 blocks of the school during arrival of our families. If agents are around the school, I alert our neighbors and administration because ICE has demonstrated their lack of empathy towards children while conducting operations across Minneapolis and Chicago. I'm scared and exhausted, and I haven't even entered the school. I teach Spanish at 8. Before, I would watch the students eat breakfast and laugh with each other. Now I'm outside until right before I lead students to class because ICE circles the school until 8:45 a.m. We need more eyes to make sure our school community is safe. Then I take the students to the classroom. Outside on Penn Avenue, outside on Penn Avenue, we hear car horns, and a student says, "I'm scared. What's going to happen?" I tell her I'm scared too, and I promise to protect them in every way I can. I teach English at 9:30. Before, I would have had 3 rotating classes across grade levels with 35 students. Now I have 4 students total. All other families, regardless of citizenship, are sheltering in place. ICE targets based on the color of your skin and what language you speak on the north side. And our neighborhood runs hot with agents. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to connect with a parent over the phone. Sometimes I call and they're disconnected because they can't get out to pay the bills. I'm scared I might never see some of these kids again. This royal of emotion repeats until the end of the school day and into the night. I hope you all can see what I do, that our schools aren't safe and it's taking a toll on us who are most connected to them. Our neighborhood has worked hard to hold each other up, but it's time for our legislature to crystallize a structure so that regular, caring citizens have legal pathways to hold ICE, a rogue government agency that routinely flouts our laws, accountable. Democracy, a huge number of neighbors working together to protect children, is what has created the pressure to change the narrative on ICE across the nation. And it is your job as the legislature to create laws and expand and solidify our protections as individual citizens who stand up for the legal rights and institutions of our state. please create a law that not only keeps our schools safe, but also allows anyone, citizen or immigrant, to take legal recompense against any government agency that seeks to create terror near the schools we call home. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for looking out for your community as well. Alex Samuelson.
Thank you, Subcommittee. I would like to say before I read my prepared statement that as an educator, I sit before you more exhausted than I have truly ever been in my life, which for a teacher, I think we could all agree is saying something. My name is Alex Samuelson, and I'm an elementary teacher with a background in specialty in behavior, child development, as well as educational research, specifically research around learning environments and how those can affect cognitive development and executive functioning. Please forgive me for being direct with you all, but I do not have much time, nor do I disregard the platform I've been given. Like I've said, I'm an interventionist. My job is to individually and meaningfully support children every day. I teach 7 groups a day in addition to working one-on-one with kids. And since Operation Metro Surge has started and St. Paul Public Schools gave the desperately needed option of online learning, this has been my small group attendance. 1 out of 5 students, 1 out of 5 students, 4 out of 6 students, 2 out of 4 students, 1 out of 5 students, 3 out of 6 students, 3 out of 3 students. That is not a normally sized group. Every day, I speak with them about how they miss their friends, about what is happening to their parents, because it does come up every day in every conversation. I have to speak with them about why their friends and themselves feel unsafe to be at school or out of their homes at all. And of course, I would never, ever say it like this to children, but I will say it to you, adults. We have to have those conversations with children because they and their parents are being hunted. Lastly, I will say this to all of you. You all allowed this to happen to our children, and you did not do nearly enough to stop it. In fact, some of you or your colleagues are responsible. So in the aftermath of your inaction, I ask for your vital reaction. And that looks like funding. Millions and millions of dollars in historic funding for our students and our schools. That means funding for permanent school-based counselors, third-party contracts specifically for trauma-focused therapy, vetted and research-driven trauma-based training for all school staff, regardless of their licensure or unit, and in-school trauma-based therapists in full-time permanent positions with the districts they serve. Finally, I have heard many people mention resilience today. And adults love to call children resilient when we fail to protect them. I'm here to tell you, without mincing my words, and very directly, that they are not resilient enough to withstand this historic amount of trauma without help and support. Support that will come from every single one of you in terms of funding. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for coming to share all of that with you. And, thoughts and prayers to your students as well and families. Thank you. We have Ms. Martinson, and then I'll ask Emily Euchre and Dr. Amy Hewitt-Olatunde to join us. Ms. Martinson, if you'd like to begin.
Good morning, Senate Committee. My name is Victoria Martinson. I live in Northeast Minneapolis, and I am a restorative practice coordinator for Global Arts Plus Upper Campus in St. Paul Public Schools. As someone who is in the school building and student-facing, I have seen firsthand the disruption and harm that Operation Metro Surge has created in our school community. When I enter school each day, my role is not to teach a content area such as science or history. Instead, I work hard to connect with our students and staff to intentionally create a community that we are all proud to be a part of. A community value that we have intentionally centered this school year is belonging. In middle school education, fostering a sense of belonging is not only pivotal to student educational success and well-being, it is directly linked to equity. Belonging ensures that every member of the community, regardless of their background, has access to the same education, support, and opportunities. Operation Metro Surge and ICE presence have directly impacted the sense of belonging that we have worked so hard to create. When students and staff are being told by our federal government that they do not belong in the state of Minnesota because of how they look or the languages they speak, each community they are a part of is severed. Belonging means being able to show up to your community spaces without fear, and ICE has taken that sense of safety away from our students and community. Because of the fear, deportation, or violence from ICE and federal entities, over 1/4 of our students have moved to online learning, with the majority of these students being part of our Language Academy program. When 1/4 of a community is gone, it not only harms those who are excluded, it's detrimental to everyone. The fear created by the ICE occupation is an all-encompassing emotion for our community. There are daily conversations about classmate safety, where family members may end up, if their guardians feel safe enough to leave their homes for groceries, or if they'll ever come back to school again. We are hearing from the federal government that ICE is targeting adults, but what they are failing to realize is that many of these adults have children who are deeply impacted. We have students who exhibit extreme mental health concerns such as depression, anxiety, and suicidal ideation because they do not know where their family members are, if they are safe walking in the neighborhood, or if they'll be entering a raided home when they get off the bus. The stress from the students is warranted because their fear is real. Abductions and deportations are happening, and it is destroying the sense of belonging and dignity that people deserve. As you continue in your Senate sessions and create legislation to protect Minnesotans, I urge you to think of our young people and the sense of community we have the obligation to create for them. Thank you.
Thank you much for sharing that with us. Is it Euchre? Yes. If you'd like to go ahead.
Members of the committee, my name is Emily Euchre, and this is my 5th year as a school social worker and 12th year working in children and youth programming. I proudly work at Bruce Fancho Elementary, less than 2 miles from here, where the late congressman called home on the east side of St. Paul. We are the neighborhood public school for the Mount Airy and McDonough affordable housing complexes and surrounding neighborhoods on the east side and north end. Things were really starting to look up this year. Our daily attendance was finally starting to make a significant recovery since COVID. Our kids are receiving free breakfast and lunch daily. And as a social worker, I get to work on a robust team of student support personnel thanks to the funding passed by legislature in 2023. We started hearing whispers of families affected by ICE in October. By December, attendance plummeted. Kids wondered where their classmates were. I worried which kids would disappear over winter break. By January, more students became afraid. Now, a Dakota girl carries her birth certificate back and forth in a Ziploc bag. A Karen student who spotted ICE near his home runs the block and a half to school as fast as he can. MUN staff and students carry their passports. An African-American family who became homeless this year stopped sending their kids to school because they were afraid the Somali bus driver would get pulled over with their kids in the car. The overall anxiety and fear amongst these children is indescribable. Students will be worried that I am out of the building this morning because they always want to know where their safe people are. When we announced the temporary virtual option, 1/3 of our students went online. Despite the drawdown, we will not be out of this until every single child is back at school feeling safe. This occupation has resulted in a collective trauma greater than what we saw during 2020. Children of those who fled war are back in what at times feels indistinguishable from a war zone. On top of all of this, I fear that despite our mental health needs, services are going to get slashed. St. Paul went through major cuts once COVID funds dried up and is already on a tight budget even with our recently passed referendum. But now we are faced with another loss of funds due to this disruption in schooling. And without support from the state, I am terrified that social workers and counselors are going to get cut when our students need us most. We deserve to have schools where children do not need to fear ICE. We deserve schools with robust mental health supports. Our children deserve to recover from this and to learn without fear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Euchre. Next, we have Dr. Amy Hewitt Olatunde.
Olatunde, thank you. Good morning. She's a senior, a gifted student, full of love and compassion for everyone around her. Her dream is to be an ESL teacher. She should be enjoying the final season of her high school career and anticipating graduation. For the past 2 months, she has been trapped in her home, unable to leave, her joy gone, her freedom stolen, and she is one of countless other youth who have been a victim of this occupation and students that we love like our own children. My name is Dr. Amy Hewitt-Olatunde, and I've taught for St. Paul Public Schools as an English as a second language teacher for the past almost 30 years, and in the greater metro area as an adjunct professor for the past 20. I'm also the 2015-16 Minnesota Teacher of the Year, and I'm a proud parent, not only of my senior who's graduating this year and my freshmen who are children of color, but also every single student that I teach who are unlike, they are completely the same as my own children. I'm also here as a St. Paul Federation of Educators person, talking about the effects of ICE on our school communities. And I want to give a special shout out to Senator Wyszynski, who back in 2018 stood in strong support as I was in my confirmation hearing for the chair of PELSB. So nice to see you again. As educators, we see the impact of ICE activity as each bell rings throughout the day. We see it in our empty desks. Our district has seen almost 7,000 students at the peak not come to school, 832 of them with IEPs, who need the academic and emotional supports that we as educators provide. Parents are terrified to drive their own children to school, fearing that a random checkpoint or being profiled as a person of color, they will never see their child again. Or at the very least being drilled for ID and possibly detained and brought to the Whipple building. We see it in the behavioral shifts. I have students, bright, ambitious 6th through 12th graders who have suddenly stopped turning in work. When I pull them aside, they do not talk about the things that kids should be talking about. They are living in a state of toxic stress, a clinical term that manifests itself in a variety of ways in our classrooms. When ICE looms over our community, the school stops being a place of learning and becomes a triage center. We spend our prep periods helping students learn virtually, organize grocery runs, contact students who are sheltered in place, among countless other things. We are watching a generation of St. Paul children and children across this entire country lose their childhoods to a fear that no child should know. We ask our students to show up and give us their best, and it's time for us to show up for them. We must ensure that our schools remain absolute sanctuaries, free from the shadow of deportation, so that the liberty and justice for all refers to all of us, all of our children, and that this should be a reality that they experience every single day. What is happening in the city, state, and country is teaching our children they are not safe. They are not heard, they are not equal to, and when we as adults realize that every day that Metro Surge continues, even though it is stated it is not, it is a lie. Our children are going to be further traumatized, and that trauma will walk with them for the rest of their lives. This needs to change now. We want our students back where they belong. We want them to be kids again. Dablurama, wachau, gracias, mahatsni, takskaldaha, migwech. Thank you.
Miigwech to you. And then we have Maren Christensen, Executive Director of the Multicultural Autism Action Network. Is there anyone else in the audience that we didn't catch? All right, if you'd like to go ahead then.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and committee members. Again, my name is Maren Christensen Hofer. I'm a parent of a child with a disability, and I am the Executive Director of the Multicultural Autism Action Network, which is a nonprofit that serves children with disabilities specifically in our multicultural communities. And I came here today to really lift up the voices of students with disabilities and how they are being impacted by Operation Metro Surge. But I also want to name and acknowledge who is not here in the room with us today, with notable exceptions, and they've been wonderful. Like, we do not have parents here today. We do not have immigrants today. We do not have that many people from communities of color who are the most impacted by what's happening. And I want to name what we've seen in the disability community over and over again, is that if we do not center the voices of the most impacted when we make policy changes, we are going to get it wrong. So I will ask you to learn from the mistakes that have been made in the past and make sure we're hearing from these families. I know the focus of this committee is education finance, but I want to reiterate that families do not live in, neat little silos as our committees do. Many of the families have been caught in a vice grip of disruption between what's happening with Operation Metro Surge, being unable to attend school, targeted as community of color, and simultaneously experiencing severe service disruptions that are tied to the ongoing fraud investigations in human services. I want you to think about the family who is keeping their child home from school in the event that they get arrested or detained. I want you to think about the family who is asking the question, who is going to take care of my child's G-tube? Who's going to actually make sure that they get fed in the event that I get arrested or I disappear? Who is my child going to be allowed to continue to live in my accessible home if I'm not there? I want you to think about how this feels from the perspective of a family where perhaps the child is non-speaking or minimally speaking and is being asked to comply with an ICE officer's instructions. I want you to think about the child for whom having a heightened fight or flight response is part of their disability and what's going to look like that, what that interaction is going to look like when an ICE officer knocks on their door or approaches them in their car. I want you to think about the children for whom the need for sameness and routine is part of their disability and how this is affecting them when their entire world is being disrupted. I want to talk about the fact that schools and communities have shown up for families in incredible ways, and we are so grateful for all of that wonderful support and outpouring. But we need to be honest about the fact that as we look to return to normal wasn't working real well for a lot of us, even before this. And we have an opportunity to change things, to make them better, rather than to go back to the way things were. I want to name that you are going to be asked to make some really difficult decisions about funding, about discipline, about mental health. We know that the Blue Ribbon Commission is going to come forward with cuts of $250 million to special education straight out of the gate. And at the same time, we are hearing efforts to dehumanize, dismantle, destabilize services for people with disabilities. But the good news is that Minnesotans have shown us you can choose not to be part of that. You can say, not on my watch. You can say, we're going to lead with kindness and connection and compare and compassion for the most impacted. Minnesotans have shown us their values in these last couple months, and we hope that you will lead this session with yours as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. You mentioned who's not here, parents and students. We try to get parents and students to come in, and they won't. Yep. They are so afraid of showing their face, of being profiled, and then the consequences of that. And in my district, I can tell you that happens more times than not. Anytime school board members, superintendents have spoken up, they will find ICE surrounding their homes for days, following them everywhere they go, whether they are folks of color or not. But I do want to share, I'm just going to read something that came to me during this hearing from a family. And so this is what they sent me. Dear members of the Senate Education Committee, thank you for taking the time to listen to families like ours. In the last month, ICE activity in our community has caused deep fear and instability for our family. Because of that fear, I stopped working almost 3 months ago. The anxiety of leaving home, not knowing if I would return to my daughter, became too overwhelming. No parent should have to make that choice. My daughter is only 5 years old. At such a young age, she should be thinking about playing, learning her letters, and making friends. Instead, she has asked me, Mom, I'm scared because of my skin color. What if they take me? I'm scared for you and for my friends who look like me. As her mother, it breaks my heart that she carries this fear. There have been days when she has had to walk to school without her parents, and we are incredibly grateful for our neighbors Ivana and Mike who live next door. They have shown us such extraordinary kindness. They come to pick up my daughter to take her to school. They bring us food and whatever we need. Sometimes my tears fall when I see the love and the support they give us. Their actions remind us that there are so many good people in this country. Even with that support, the emotional impact on our daughter and many other children remains very real. We respectfully ask that you consider funding and resourcing schools to support students affected by this fear and uncertainty. Schools need counselors, emotional support programs, safe spaces so children can focus on learning instead of living in constant anxiety. Thank you for hearing our story and for considering all the well-being of students like our daughter. Sincerely, this is a family from Fridley. And so we would have loved to have heard those stories right from the heart and right from their experience, But unfortunately, when Americans are afraid to come out of their home and speak up for fear of retribution, we have a real problem. So thank you. I think that finishes all of our testimony. Members, if you have any comments, I know that many folks are in the education world and had to leave to go do their jobs. But if there is somebody in the audience that you know that you have a question for, or you would like to make a statement, please let us know and we will begin. Senator Swedzinski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My morning began with a big smile on my face with that round of applause that you gave to the bus drivers on today. And that was the last time I think I had a smile on my face. The last 2 hours of my life were pretty emotional. I taught American government for 33 years, and today's testimony, I don't remember a time in my 10 years here of having such heart-wrenching testimony. And the whole time I'm trying to remember in the 1930s when our nation was faced with the tyranny and fascism and Nazism and anti-Semitism that was plaguing so much of the world. Here in America, FDR in 1940 defined our democracy as freedom of speech, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. Freedom from fear. And that's what I kept hearing so many of you say today, is you want to be free from fear. Our kids want to be free from fear. Our teachers, our parents, our communities. And Norman Rockwell, when he paints his masterpiece depicting the four freedoms democracy is based on, the painting he painted depicting freedom from fear shows a young couple tucking in their 2 children. And the dad is holding a newspaper from London, I recall, and the front page headline says something about bombings, shell, or something like that. And I'm trying to think right now, if Norman Rockwell was alive today, what he would depict freedom from fear. How would he articulate that in a painting? And I think after hearing today's testimony, he would depict a teacher standing in front of an empty classroom. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Swedzinski. You always have. You kind of always put things in perspective for us. Thank you. Senator Westland, you wanted to say something.
Thank you. I just want to thank everyone who came today to share your heart and your devotion to your students, regardless of the role that you fulfill. This was a difficult hearing. I think all of us have been hearing the stories of what's happening in our schools, but I want to thank you for coming here and thank my colleagues who paid rapt attention to what you were saying. We have a lot of work to do, and our students, as many of you testified, are going to be experiencing the fallout from this and the trauma from this for years to come, as are their parents. Our job as parents is to protect our kids. And for any parent in a moment feeling that they cannot protect their children, that is a horror that is hard to overcome. We do need to do something for our schools, but most importantly, ICE needs to get the hell out of our state. And we have been told that they're leaving, but I think people need to understand that since the announcement that Metro Surge would be ending, the terror and the trauma has not ended. In fact, in some communities, it has become even more aggressive. What I do know is that Minnesotans have shown that in the face of this intrusion into our lives and into our state, that we will not stand silently, that we will stand together, that there are people who have become involved in their communities who have never, ever, ever done anything before. There are people who have shown up as protesters. There's people who are showing up at the kids' schools to be observers and watchers. There are people who are doing things that they have never done before because this intrusion is not political and it is not partisan. This is an attack by the federal government on our state. and on our people and on our kids. And I would hope that we would all come together on that and say, this is not okay. I am on the Blue Ribbon Commission for Special Education. And I think every person on that commission is committed to ensuring that we are not cutting services to our kids. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I promise you, I am not down with cutting $250 million from special education services that are necessary for our kids to succeed. We're going to have to figure something out, but it's not going to be borne on the backs of our kids. So, Madam Chair, I want to thank you for arranging this today. I, again, hope people were providing due attention to the testimony today, that we were all moved by that testimony today, and that we are going to actually try to do something to make our schools safe and secure and to deal with the economic distress that our schools are going to experience as a result.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Clark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to all the testifiers. I drove by Pillsbury Elementary and Ingwa Academy this morning, where parents were on every corner, similar to the stories that you shared. And I heard news stories today. ICE circling roundabouts preventing kids getting to schools, masked men putting a 12-year-old into an unmarked car and then keeping his school ID, agents using binoculars to watch school classrooms, agents waiting at school bus stops. 8 weeks of parents never leaving home, ICE circling schools, a grandma taken to Texas, then released for being unlawfully detained, and kids carrying passports. As Alex said, we failed to protect them all. Our schools must be sacred places. Our schools must be places that are safe for all. And that's our job, folks. So some of this is going to take money. Some of this is going to take a commitment to what the American promise is. And we all are going to have to roll up our sleeves and figure it out and work together, because what's happened is unacceptable. From Wilmer to Rocori to St. James, it's been too much. And thank you for sharing the stories, and thank you for making it crystal clear. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Next, we have Senator Lucero.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a question for you. I have some remarks, but a question for you. And I appreciate everybody who did come out and share their experiences and their thoughts. But for you, Madam Chair, for those of us that did not have the opportunity to share with our school districts or with people within our community to come down here and share their perspective, did you give anybody on our side an opportunity, or could I ask, what opportunity did you give us to share and extend invites to others to share their perspective?
We used our usual form of communication by posting the information online. And as I said, Senator Lucero, if you have folks from your district, or if you know of families that would like to come and share their stories and their impact, perhaps we'll do a second one. I would love to do that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, there is a lot of other stories, but let me start by saying this. As a former educator, as a former school bus driver, I have deep regard, and I thank all of the educators, all those who are working in the classroom, all of the support staff that are pouring their hearts and their lives into the education of our children and maximizing their opportunities. Another perspective that needs to be highlighted is thanking the great men and women, the professionals in law enforcement who are risking their lives each and every day to uphold the laws that this legislature passes, the laws that Congress passes. As I've been listening here, I've heard characterizations of our men and women in law enforcement as creating war zones, occupation, assaulting, attacks. They've been characterized as invaders. They've been characterized as terrorists. This is not a civil dialogue. These are men and women who kiss their families, give them hugs goodbye every day when they start their shift. And they don't want to go into a war zone. They don't want to be considered terrorists. They don't want Democrats, Governor Walz, the Attorney General calling them Nazis and Gestapo. But yet that's the environment that they've been having to operate in for simply upholding the laws that this legislature passes. Law enforcement officers. So again, thank you to all of those who are risking their lives every day. The voice that I did not hear today are the many voices across Minnesota, the many children, young people, the parents whose opportunities are being denied because illegal immigrants are taking the resources, the limited resources that our legal children are supposed to have. Minnesotans are very compassionate. Minnesotans have very big hearts. But Minnesotans are being taxed to death. Minnesotans are unable to pay many of their own bills. And so when decisions have to be made, we do not want to rob our children of the excellence in education that they deserve. And so those are the voices that are across this state that were deliberately silenced and ignored in this committee this morning. Deliberate, concerted effort to not provide enough time for another perspective. But yet those perspectives are out there. Minnesotans see the truth. And I, for one, am going to continue to make sure that the voices of those parents that are attempting to be ignored, the voices of children and students that are attempting to be ignored by the Democrat majority, do have people listening. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator Holstrom.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We heard a lot of testifiers this morning voice their fears from accountability through law enforcement. However, because of the way that this committee, the agenda was manipulated by the majority, Republican members were not afforded the opportunity to invite their own testifiers. If we did, we could have found individuals who may well have expressed their relief and their appreciation for the arrest and removal of more than 4,000 criminal illegal aliens, many with gang affiliations, who have been making their communities across Minnesota demonstrably less safe. And I, for one, would like to voice that appreciation and would like the opportunity to invite people in the future. Thank you.
Senator Makley.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. First, I want to thank the testifiers who came on behalf of yourselves, your students, the families. And I want to apologize that any person had to hear any legislator call children, 5-year-olds, 11-year-olds, illegal people, criminals, gang members. It's unconscionable, and I am so sorry on behalf of this legislature that you had to hear that after enduring the absolute terror of the last 8 weeks. I have a 3-year-old, and I want to bring voice to daycare parents. Because daycare parents have been doing what teachers at public schools and charter schools and private schools have been doing and what parents there have been doing. Because we watch teachers get taken from in front of the babies, like at drop-off. At 8:30 in the morning, a lawfully present immigrant in this country who's teaching baby Spanish was arrested while a child babbles in the back going ba, 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 because she doesn't realize what she's seeing. The older children did. They sit in parking lots to make sure ICE doesn't come onto premises. After a worker was lured outside with a ruse of a car crash. That happened back in early January. And the teachers and the parents and the support staff, you all came here without partisan agendas. We saw people from across the state, and this has really unified people across race and place, regardless of political affiliation, because what is happening is so terrible. I do not know how any person could listen to the stories that have been shared here and not think this is bad and we should do something. I know people find it uncivil to hear an accurate description of what is happening, but using accurate language to describe what is happening is not uncivil. Using 5-year-olds as bait is uncivil. Terrorizing 11th graders is uncivil. Requiring students to stay home because they're afraid their parents will be gone when they come home is uncivil. Shooting American citizens in the back 10 times is uncivil. And so I also want to give name to the other things that happens in schools, because we rely on every single person in a school to give our kids quality education. Thank you so much to those who shouted out literacy, because we are making gains. My district told me this year, they were like so excited this was going to be their best year. We were coming back. But there's other stuff that happens in schools too. There's Valentine's Day, where you get to share all the Valentines with your classmates and wear red and pink. There's recorder concerts that you practice for. There's that first day when the set is built for the musical that you get to perform the dress rehearsal and you get to do all the costumes. None of that is happening in schools right now. Nobody's there to do that beautiful, joyous stuff, because the school is where kids learn to become human. And they have seen this federal government treat them as inhuman. Them, their friends, their family, their neighbors. The devastation is immeasurable. But I want to say, yes, we should do something, but I want to give specifics. I want to repeal the tax exemption that the airlines in this state enjoy to the tune of $34 million. They are the ones who trafficked our children out of this state. No more tax exemption. That should go to school-linked mental health. The tax exemption that our data centers enjoy, currently at $230 million per biennium, to be $1 billion somewhere in the future, no thank you. You can pay taxes after you collected all our data in our faces and used it to track observers and constitutional observers and parents and children. We could use that to fund our schools. I don't want to operate from a deficit mindset. And $230 million is really close to the $250 that is being cut from special education, by the way. There is real work that we can do. There is money there. We just have to have the political will to look at the situation, acknowledge the reality that we have heard from parents and teachers and students today, and then say, we have to do everything we can to fix it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Next, we're going to hear from Senator Umar Verbaden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank everyone for coming to testify today and sharing your stories and speaking the truth. And if that makes us uncomfortable, we need to sit with that. Period. When I hear about these attacks on our community and especially on our youngest Minnesotans, I find it so cruel. And it's clear that the response is going to be to just continue to scapegoat immigrants and people of color. When folks choose to dehumanize others, they are dehumanizing themselves. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Rarick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wish I'd had some better prepared remarks. This is a very sensitive issue. And I want everyone who came here today to know that I do not deny the lived experiences that you told us, and I will not defend the actions that happened that were against our Constitution. I do not deny that that happened. But let's also have a realistic conversation and talk about uncivility. When we have leaders in this state telling people to put their bodies out on the line, to yell, to blow whistles, to throw things at law enforcement, when we have a refusal to cooperate, that raises the tension, that raises the stress level, and that doesn't help anything. Both sides need to step back and look at the actions that they have taken. But we've only heard one side of that today. So if you want, again, I've heard people asking people from my side to get out and make statements. Well, guess what? Getting on social media and making statements really doesn't do anything. It just, again, raises the stress, raises the tension. I am incredibly proud of my wife, Representative Rarick, who worked behind the scenes for both of us through Representative Emmer's office, through Representative Stauber's office, trying to get word up, asking for a change. Will we see the change? I'm not sure. I am hopeful. But I'm not seeing the change or hearing that it's going to happen on the other side as well. The two have to go together. We have to lower the tensions on both sides if this is going to be solved and if we're going to remove the fear that we heard about. We have been for years hearing from our schools about the stresses on their financial situation. This is one more piece, but it's not the only piece. We have schools around this state who have been begging for relief and the ability to prioritize the things in their schools that they need. And I hope that this can be when we see things bad that happen and we say good can come from it, maybe that's something good that can come from this, is that we could take that long, hard look to say, what are the things we can do to get out of the school's way to give them the flexibility to do the things they need to do to help their families and students. I'm willing to do that, but again, it needs to be across the board, not just looking at one specific need. We have to look across the state and see what all the needs are and address them together. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Rarick. Next, we have Senator Gustafson.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Senator Rarick. It's good to hear the desire to work together because we're going to need that in the House where it's tied, and we're going to need people to put aside their partisan politics and work together on this. So it's hopeful. Just doing a quick math of the schools that we heard from today, it's around 65,000 students that are affected, and those are just from the ones that we heard of. None of them represent my state Senate district, so you could add another 24,000 or so of those impacted, because I know from all of the countless texts, emails, and calls I've received that my school districts and families have been affected as well. So we cannot dismiss the stories we're hearing today. This is a significant amount of families in our state. And I'm not going to share their personal stories that I hear every day in my district, but they really would break your heart. The children are not criminals. The families I'm hearing from, by the way, are here legally. Immigration enforcement activity doesn't just affect the families either. We heard from all the school districts. It impacts their student learning. They're already getting data on immigration raids that have linked to 22% increase in student absences. And that disrupts the classrooms for everybody. It's also linking the intensified enforcement to lower test scores, increased chronic absenteeism, widening achievement gaps. These are all issues that we tackle in this committee. So the schools are asking for solutions. That's one of the things, in addition to, I think, the effectiveness of hearing their stories that we all need to hear. Several schools brought forward solutions, and I appreciate that too. So they're looking for funding needs with flexibility in funding. I heard boosting compensatory aid. I know Senator Doran Clark is working on that. Helping with attendance policies. These are things that we can do here. So I hope that we can be productive and solve the problems for them. We are not on the federal level. We cannot control immigration policy. But we can do what we can do here to help them. And it's just worth noting too, 56% of Minnesotans disagree with the tactics ICE used. And so we do support our local law enforcement. In fact, I've gone out to all of my cities and met with all of my local police, and I appreciate so much the training they have. the de-escalation tactics they use, the relationships that they have formed in our communities. Now more than ever, that difference is showing up. And I do appreciate what they do for us. But that's not what we're seeing with the federal agents that have been here for the past 2 months. So our school districts are focused on learning, student stability. We can do things in this committee to help them with that. Our job is to help them. I hope we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. We're over time, and I'll just kind of wrap things up. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all that came today, all that are listening and watching online. When we talk about the responsibility, you know, Nelson Mandela once said, there's no keener revelation of a society's soul than in the way that it treats its children. And I think that is our responsibility here and right now. But we can't help our children if we don't help our communities. So if we are not in that community, if we are not using our constitutional rights to protect our families, our businesses, and ultimately our children, then we are also not doing our job. For the last 2 months, I have gotten up every single morning, gotten dressed in layers upon layers of clothes, and went to schools to watch and to patrol. And I saw ICE circling the schools. Eventually, I had ICE people roll their window down and say, "Good morning, Mary." How do they know who I am? Obviously, they'd done some homework. I know that our superintendents have been threatened. I know that our teachers have been threatened. And we can't ignore that outside of here. So when our members show up to illegal detentions and arrests without the proper legal forms, it is our responsibility to make sure that everybody knows what is happening. That is what is going on. If ICE members don't want whistlers and people taping the action, then use the legal process. That's all we ask. And when our students are seeing these things happen, when they see their students, their fellow students taken away, that's going to totally affect what is happening. And so, yes, we can do things around compensatory aid, public safety in our schools. We can create, try to create more opportunities to address absenteeism and the social emotional needs of our students. But it does take a village. It takes all of us to do that. And so I'm really glad that so many of us were able to share the actual situation that is happening, that we are gathering the data to make those differences, and I look forward to the collaboration through this legislative session. Next week, Tuesday, we have a Student Attendance Day, and so we'll be looking at the pilot program, getting updates and more about that. If members have people that would like to come in and talk about that in their school district, please let Emma know. And then Wednesday is probably my most favorite day of the year. It is Library Day. So if you have librarians, whether they're public school or county or local, love to hear from them as well. And so with that, this first committee meeting is adjourned.